Average by Roshan Sir. Useful for government exams, core cubes, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, MCAT, TCS, and other exams for campus placement. We have well-known aptitude trainers, more than 7 years of experienced trainers, educated and trained more than 1,50,000 students.
Yes, so we have already discussed the name of the topic which we need to prepare. So in this class, we'll be talking about a new topic. I guess this topic I've not spoken about this in the class before. The name of the topic is average. If you talk about the weightage of the topic, I've seen this as one of the prominent topic being asked in almost all type of examination of general aptitude. Like you can call about MCAT. Definitely you'll get a question. You'll talk about core cubes. We have seen repeatedly one question from this topic. E-litmus, we have not seen the question, but all other examinations which will have a general aptitude, this one of the common topic which people generally target, either directly or indirectly. Directly means they will ask a question directly based upon the concept of average. Indirectly means they may touch this topic again in a form of data interpretation. We call it as DI. So that's how I call it as one of the prominent topic of your quantitative aptitude. So whenever we talk about this topic, I guess every one of my friends understand nothing but average. There is one formula. When we talk with people, they ask what is average. If you take your input also, a lot of people will say average is nothing but, sir, average is equal to sum of the observation divided by number of terms. This is what's come into the mind when we'll talk average. Average, everybody understand that average is nothing but sum of number divided by number of terms. In today's class, we'll be learning that it's not only about sum of the number divided by number of terms. It is much more than that. And a lot of people actually waste a lot of time in this topic. We call it as an easy topic of aptitude, though people miss the trick here. What I mean to say by miss the trick here, I'll discuss with you one by one through the example. So if you ask about my understanding about average, this is the least used formula in my class. We will be hardly using this formula. Hardly using this formula. What do I mean to say by hardly using this formula? I mean to say that whenever we don't have any other shortcut method in my mind, then only I'll come back to this formula. Otherwise, we'll never use this formula. So what are the other things? What are the other shortcuts? What are the other ways of looking at this topic? That I'll be discussing with you one by one by one. If you talk about this complete topic average at a time, I'm dividing this topic into smaller pieces so that we'll master one piece and then we'll go back to the second part of story. What are the division? What are the smaller division and why we are doing division? I already spoken that I don't want to learn the complete average together. So I'll divide into concept wise or my way of doing it. There is nothing called as nowhere you'll find in the book written like this. This is how I have understood the average, and this understanding helped me to solve the question faster. So when we ask about this average, for me, this average will be 4 to 5 smaller chunk or smaller division. I'll talk about the first smaller division. I call it as meaning of average. So if you ask me, I'll be taking this one more as a theory based kind of thing, and I believe theory is the best way to learn aptitude. A lot of people say that aptitude is not a theoretical subject. I cleared before also, aptitude is more about your theory. If you're clear with your theory, then problem solving will be much faster in the mind. What do you mean by meaning of average? Meaning of average is nothing but somewhere in the middle. If I talk about this graph, kind of a bar graph, this one person whose weight is almost 60, another person whose weight is, let's call it as 50, and then another person whose weight is 30. Then let's talk about another person whose weight was something called as 20, and then the last person I have in the group, his weight is, let's say, 10. So whenever we talk about this entire, let's say A, B, C, D, E, let's say I have 5%. I just want to understand in terms of graph. I just want to visualize what actually the meaning of average. So whenever we talk about the meaning, generally we can call it as it's nothing but a mean set. It's nothing but a mean, or other word we can call it as it's nothing but a middle value set. Got it? It could be either mean or it can be otherwise we can call it as middle value. So whenever we talk about the random distribution of a number, random distribution, I'm using some words like this, standard words like this. Random distribution means there is no common pattern. This is 10, 20, 30, but it should be, next number should be 40 to make it into a proper series of arithmetic progressive one. But it's not like that. So it's a random distribution of a number. Generally, what do we do is that we will be writing this number, let's say 60, then we have 50, 30, 20, and 10. These are the 5 number. Everybody said that the answer will be somewhere in the middle. So this is a method of solving the average, or this is a method of finding average. Number one method, every one of you know, average is nothing but sum of the digit divided by number of digit. If you're very good at addition, add everything else. You write some number, divide by 5, your answer will be the average. But let's in this class understand another way of solving this problem. We call it as standard deviation method of solving average problem. Where this standard deviation method come handy, generally where we have a 4-digit number. When we talk about a 4-digit number, when we talk about a big sample space, there this standard deviation method become much faster technique for us to solve. Same way where we have only small number also, when we have a 2 number, a 2-digit, then also it come very handy in the solution. So let's learn a new method of solving the average problem. We call it as standard deviation. The standard deviation method says that according to your understanding, choose a number between maximum and minimum. 30 could be one of the number. Hey, don't go, sorry, say, let me tell you, don't go exactly in the middle like this. You take a number between 10 and 40, 10 and 60. So here I consider your number 30. And once I consider your number 30, now remember this very carefully, what I'm telling. This is the most important part of the story. Otherwise, you'll get confused. Always compare from this set. This 30 should be compared with this set, and we'll find the deviation. Deviation is nothing but the difference. What is the difference between 30 and 60? It is 30. And 60 is more or 60 is less?
More.
Anyone? More. More means plus. Less. So if you talk about these terms, these are called as deviation. If you talk about the understanding, this is nothing but deviation. I think every one of you have understood standard deviation in a topic of statistic, mathematics, 10th standard or 11th standard. I'm not very sure whether you guys have came across this term, standard deviation. So if you ask me, standard deviation is not a new thing. It's just a deviation of all the number on the top of equally distributed for all these number. What I mean to say is that, let's say the total deviation will be, if I talk about this plus and minus will cancel out each other. If I'm not wrong, plus minus will cancel out each other. Here also this will cancel out each other, and the ultimate number which we'll be getting here will be plus 20. This plus 20 is deviation for all 5 numbers. So what is the standard deviation? Standard deviation will be plus 20 by 5 is equal to plus 4. It means that your average should be plus 4 than the number which you have assumed. So it will be 30 plus 4. If I'm not wrong, I will be writing here 34. So this is what is the way of finding a standard deviation. I hope everyone understood this one off. Nothing to worry about. Standard deviation is not a big concept altogether. Find the deviation for all the number, that is called a standard deviation. Only thing I want you people to understand and remember is that please make sure that you will be comparing with these sets of number, and we will be writing with this plus and minus sign will be given with respect of these number, not with respect of this point of this contact. So let me take you through one question where this method will come very handy for you to solve the problem. Handy for every one of you. I hope everyone can see the question here on the screen. I have taken it from random from website, and I've seen that this question, if you try to add this number, now you only understand and confirm me if I'm talking right. If I want to write this number or add this number, don't you think this number will take time and divide by all those number part of story? Before addition and subtraction, let me tell you before addition subtraction, what I'll do is that I'll first understand the question. Is that clear? And my question looks something like this. There is a person who sells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5-month sale of this person. Means first month he sold this much amount, second month he sold this much amount, third month he goes for 6, 8, double 5, and like this he sold for 5 months. Now question being said that how much he must sell in the 6th, so that his average comes to somewhere around 6500. One method in my mind coming is that add everything, keep the last month sum is equal to x, and then divide by 6 and keep that. Sir, do one thing. Whatever method you said right now, forget about it. Use the basic method. The first number add with second number, add with third number, means third month cell, add with fourth month cell, then add with fifth month cell, and then sixth month cell you assume x, whole number you divided by 6. This is how we find average, and keep this average is equal to 6500. It look very easy for me to tell. You can easily understand what I've seen here, what I've written here, but your job will start from now, and you take whichever fastest way you're taking to add the number. Minimum from here you will be taking 45 to 50 seconds to do the problem, which means that we have already invested 30 to 50 seconds to understand the problem. Another 50 plus 50, almost 2 minutes you are taking to solve this problem. And if you have made some mistake in calculation, then God bless you. So generally, this kind of problem where we have 4-digit number, we always recall our standard deviation method to solve the problem. So ये 6 number है. These are the 6 number which we have with us. So let me make sure that since these are the 6 number and the all 6-month average has to be 6500. Just now we have understood that average is a number. Average is a number from where standard deviation should be 0. Standard deviation should be 0. Let me go back to the example which I given earlier. If you have seen here, I have told very clearly, sir, we got standard deviation 4. It should not be a standard deviation 4, which means that the number which we have assumed here 30 is wrong. Average means a value from where the standard deviation of the group should be 0. So abhi yahan pe 30 aa raha, the 30 should not be one value because it's giving me standard deviation of plus 4. So I have added this number 4 here and I got a number 34 and I call that this number is now average, sir. Now if you go back and take the deviation from this number, trust me, your standard deviation will be coming as 0. You can try this number by yourself at whenever you will be free watching this video again. So what I'll be doing here now is that I'll be going back to my understanding or my logic. My logic now will say that the standard deviation from this group and this number has to be 0. That is what will be the things which we will be talking here. So let's say that how much deviation is happening here. So for everyone now be on the activated mode. Again, I'll be repeating this one off. The point of comparison will be this 5-6 number. I'll be writing plus or minus with respect of this. This is one number. So if you talk about this, can I say that this number is less? Less means first I'll write minus sign. Now I'll be asking how much less?
65.
So this is 65 less. So everyone can do this without book and pen. This one without book and pen. If I'm not wrong, confirm me on this. Let me go back to the second number. I can say that this number is more. More means everyone understood. I'll be writing plus. This number is more, sir. How much more, sir? It is more than 400, sir. कितना more है? कोई मुझे जल्दी से without book and pen का ये तरीका करके बताओ. How much it will be? 427. 7. इतना ही होगा ना? If you add 427, you will be getting this number. So this is the deviation. This is how we'll be talking about it. Now see and say and tell me whether this number is more or this number is less.
Plus more.
आपको बोलना पड़ेगा बच्चे. सभी लोग को बोलना पड़ेगा. All 20 to 25 people participate in discussion. ये more है less है?
More.
More है means plus or minus?
Plus.
Very good. Now tell me how much plus?
355.
355.
Tell me fast. How much more? So whenever you will be watching this one, do this activity so that your at least addition subtraction will be faster. Tell me fast. What is this?
355.
355.
हाँ तो सभी लोग बात करो ना. What's wrong in everyone talking here? And these two number are there. So again I can say this is more, sir. How much it is more, sir? So this will be 62 more. And now come back to this one.
730.
How much it is?
730.
I'm just assuring that everyone are doing this exercise with me. Now I told you that I should get one number from here which will make the standard deviation 0. इसका मतलब तो यही होगा ना बच्चा. If I'm not wrong, I should get a negative number from here, then only the standard deviation will be 0. Correct. So these two number will cancel out and I'll be getting minus 3 from here because this plus and this minus will be the bigger sign. So I'll be getting minus 3 from here. Or if I can talk about it, I can take minus 3 and this will become 424, and this is also gone. So I should get a number which is as good as this in negative sign. That is the question being asked in the problem, if I'm not wrong. Correct, na? This would be a standard deviation should be 0, means I should be getting a negative number which can compensate these three number, and I should get a 0 here. That's how the thought process goes in the mind. ऐसा ही कुछ दिमाग में जाना चाहिए, if I'm not wrong. So everyone can see that this is 300, this is 700, means 1000 to यही हो गया, and 1400 is there. 1400 plus 50, 1450 plus 30, 80, 85. 85 plus 4 will be 89, plus 10 will be 99, plus 10 will be 109. So 1400 was there, plus 109 will be 1509. अगर मैं गलत नहीं हूँ तो एक ऐसा नंबर चाहिए जो 1509 के इक्विवेलेंट हो, and which can cancel out everything else from here, and its standard deviation should be 0. So if I'm not wrong, this number, if you see this very carefully, 65 minus this was this number. If you have seen this very carefully, 6500 plus some number was this number, if I'm not wrong. Or if you take 6500 plus 355 was this number. So these number which I've written here, x, will be nothing but here 6500 minus 1509. 1500 निकाल लो तो डायरेक्टली 5000 हो जाएगा. 5000 minus 9 will be nothing but 4991. And if you'll go back into the problem, trust me, there will be one value which will be giving you the answer, something like something. Verify your learning through solving question. The best way you can verify your thing will be the question which you can solve. I think everyone can see there is one option here, 4991, and trust me, this will be the right answer. So now I'll be going about the next part of the story, and this next part of the story is one of the important part of discussion. First wala to generally will, whatever we discussed it here, standard deviation method, you might not be using that frequently. I recommend you, but still I know from experience of teaching from past 6 years that people generally they don't try to change their method. होता क्या ना, जो हम लोग मेथड सीखते हैं बचपन में, we try to use that method only. In one way that's good also, but if some method which save a lot of time in examination, I recommend please make sure that use those methods. I will not be teaching anything new just for the sake of teaching here, or anything something which is irrelevant. I've seen a question on this coming in the examination. I shown you one of the example from the site also. So make sure that you guys will be preparing questions or solving method through this. Especially in BI, where we have a difficult calculation, this method will come very handy. Let me come back to the second part of story. I've seen a question from here in Tech Mahindra examination or other examination. I think CoCubes also, I've seen one question. CoCubes. So what exactly the concept is all about? Let's first focus upon the concept, then I'll expose you guys to the question. Concept says that you guys said that, sir, average, some of you said that average is nothing but the middle term, sir, or the somewhere in the middle you said. So I will using this definition, this meaning only, that average is nothing but middle term, sir. But is it always the middle term? क्या है हमेशा middle term होता है क्या? No. If you ask me, it is not always the middle term. Then the questions come to your mind that when it is middle term, sir. कब होता है, sir? When? So it come as a middle term in an ideal condition. In ideal condition hota hai, then the average will become the middle term. No need to do any calculation in those cases. If you see this ideal condition, you should always say that, sir, average by default without doing any calculation, get answer as middle term itself. So I was talking about average is nothing but the ideal term. In ideal case, average is nothing but the middle term. So what is this ideal case? Ideal case is called as whenever the digit, or whenever we can call it as the terms of a group are equally spaced. Equally spaced ka matlab what is the meaning of equally spaced is that whenever we have the difference between the number are same. And I hope this kind of situation you have seen before. Let me write one example. This is 10, this is 20, this is 30, let's call it as 40, and then call it as 50. I'll be teaching very slow, let me tell you, to make sure that everyone will be understanding this part of story. And you can use this video to revise yourself also. Everyone can say directly that, sir, everywhere the difference is nothing but 10. And if I'm not wrong, if you remember your 10th standard mathematics, such kind 10th or standard 11th standard, such kind of a number we call it as AP series. What we call it as? Anyone? Repeat it off. We call it as AP series. I told before also, the more you repeat, the better your logic will be. I think when we met in the class, I spoken about the repetition, why we should repeat the things. Here also, when you're learning it off, try to repeat as many times as you can. Okay. So this was 10, this was also 10. So I'll not be writing and wasting your time. Everyone understood. You do your normal calculation, your answer will be 30 only. And that's the beauty of this concept. This concept says that whenever we find the average of a AP, whenever we find average of AP, no need to do any literal calculation. The average of a AP will be always a middle term. And if this is a big number where a middle term is difficult for you to find, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and all the number till 99, and you don't know where is the middle term, in that case, you can find the middle term beautifully. Like I got my answer as 30 here. This 30 can be also found like 10 and 50, that is first term, that is 10, last term, that is 50 divided by 2. What is 10 plus 50? 60 by 2 will be 30. Or second and second last term, that is 20 plus 40 divided by 2 will be again 30. So this average is a middle term, which middle term can be found as first term plus last term divided by 2. I hope everyone understood what I have discussed here. So in the case of such a big series where you cannot go and find which number is in the middle, here I have started 1 to 99, everyone can say 50, sir. But when you start from 6 to 99, you'll be scratching your head and say that which is the middle term. So in those cases, whenever we have a number big and the number are in AP, you can use your concept of middle term and you can always get the answer as 1 plus 99 divided by 2 is equal to 50. Or second term, second last, third term, third last. So corresponding terms, summation of corresponding terms by 2 will be your answer of average. So in this discussion, if I'm not wrong, every one of us has understood that sir, average hota kuch nahi hai, middle term hota hai. Kab? When it is a middle term, whenever it is a AP, and that middle term is nothing but sum of corresponding term divided by 2. What is the meaning of corresponding term? First term plus last term by 2, second last plus second term by 2, third last plus third term plus by 2. This is how it is called as average of finding a AP series. Following, let me tell you very clearly, whenever we have a AP series, कभी भी जब AP series होता है, whenever we have AP series, always average is the middle term. Average हमेशा middle term होता है. Now, how to find that middle term? That's we discussed. Middle term we can find by adding first term and the last term, or second term and the second last term. कुछ भी means कोई भी एक उठा सकते हो. First term plus last term by 2, second term plus second last term by 2. So anywhere around you can be getting the answer here. So this is one of the another concept or another way of talking about the finding average of a ideal situation, that is nothing but AP. And let me tell you, it looked very easy here, and there are a lot of questions based upon it. I've seen even in UPSC examination last to last year, I've seen a question based upon this concept. So this is one of the frequently asked concept. How does the question look like? I'll be discussing with you one by one. So this is some Tech Mahindra question, I guess. Somewhere down the line, I've seen some question based upon this concept, not exactly the same, but similar kind of question was there in the examination. So question was something like that: find the average of, like Koku's question, find the average of, everyone will be writing the question, find the average of first 5 multiple of 12. Let me call this number like this. बहुत छोटा सा sweet and simple question is there. So they are saying that find the average of first 5 multiple of 12. Anyone can answer. No need of writing anything. If you'll be using your brain, directly giving me answer. Yes, lady, tell me.
36.
36. Hopefully everyone understood. 5 multiple means, sir, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since multiple bole to table of 12. So if you write this 12, 24, 36 and like this, if you see the difference is 12, don't ignore yourself. Difference is 12 means this is nothing but a AP series. AP series is nothing but average will be the middle term. This number in the middle, so your answer will directly will be 36.
Thank you for watching this video. You should definitely watch the next video. Link in description.